Hello and welcome everyone to Birdeye Live, the show dedicated to the digital transformation of local businesses everywhere. I am your host, Justin Meredith, and join me as we learn from industry experts about the how and the why for taking your business online and claiming the most valuable real estate on the internet, that first page of Google. Now, if you're tuning in live, please feel free to drop in the chat and say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We would love to hear from you. Now, we've got some really cool stuff we want to cover today, but first, let me introduce my co-host for today's episode, Sirit Singh. Now, Sirit was a part of the marketing team here at Birdeye that helped put together our amazing virtual event last week, Birdeye View 2024. And we're here today to talk about some of the highlights from that event. But well, first, Sirit, how are you? Thank you so much for coming on. How's everything been?
I'm doing great, Justin. Thank you for having me on. And yeah, Birdeye View was a whirlwind, but it was such a great time. We had so many great sessions with some truly amazing speakers. From the keynotes with folks from Google and OpenAI to the industry breakout sessions. There was so many great moments at this year's event.
You're so right. And, that's actually what I was hoping we could cover in today's episode. And I want to take a look at some of those top moments from Birdeye View.
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Great. So you had mentioned the keynote sessions, and one of my favorite moments was from the fireside chat with Brian Cook, Google's head of cloud AI. And during the chat, Brian discussed how AI is transforming search, online reviews, and customer experiences. And I think he had a really good piece on that. And so let's take a look at that clip and see what he had to say.
The idea of bringing all of the patient data into one context where not only do you have the record, the text record, but you have X-ray data, you have video scans, you have other labs that all can kind of come together to form a picture, both for diagnosis, but more important for long-term treatment of the end patient is massive, right? The opportunity with that. And so there's adoption happening both for the consumer as well as the provider. There's hospital adoption, there are insurance companies. So it's literally activating kind of every aspect of that supply chain. Another area, and again, that long context window that I mentioned, I think is very relevant to this one, is mortgage and finance. So any place where you have regulatory requirements, incredibly dense, but also kind of a massive amount of documentation, a large model is really useful because the AI can analyze all of that data. And, in the mortgage and finance industry, it's financial data, it's credit history, it's income to help better assess risk, to understand fraud, to ultimately create a more optimized approach to how you might underwrite. It also has impacts into financial trading and other mechanisms. And so I think that use case across any regulated market is going to be extremely important.
Wow.
I think Brian makes a great point, and he offered some incredible insights throughout this entire session. And I personally love the idea of AI, being a catalyst for data-backed decision making.
Definitely. It really, it's one of those things that enables you to make those decisions, that data-backed decision making on a lot more data versus if you were one person trying to look through everything yourself, it would just be a big challenge. Now, the other fireside chat we had was with Sherwin Wu, the head of engineering for OpenAI's API division. And that session really highlighted some of the incredible opportunities and the potential impact that AI is going to have on the business landscape, on the digital landscape. So let's take a look at that and see what he was saying in his session with Deepak Bari, the CMO of Birdeye.
But you can imagine very soon being able to have an actual person on a phone. So if you have a phone number, you might be able to have one of these models actually talk back, capture information, ask for the right time, ask for the requirements, and have direct customer engagement on a voice level as well. You could also imagine, as the image understanding gets better, customers can now start sending in like, hey, here's my HVAC, it's broken. Can you help me see what it is? And on the inbound side, it can actually provide a little bit of support there. As well. And so the multimodal side, I think, is a big trend. The second one is, I think these models will get smarter. They'll keep getting smarter. A lot of the use cases that we just described today, I think, are very, what I describe as simple tasks. Maybe it's tasks you give an intern at your company. and you're kind of double checking what they're doing. And I think as these models get smarter, I would expect them to get better at not only just summarizing, but maybe like reasoning a bit more, doing multi-step tasks, doing more complex things. I think all of that will be in the picture very soon, even if it's not possible to.
Wow, that was a great discussion, and it's wild because as soon as that event ended, or Birdeye View ended, just one day later, I think it was the day after, maybe 2 days later, OpenAI came out with their new smartest model, the O1. And so the timing of this is just amazing, and he's totally right on when it comes to these future forecasts of the capabilities that AI is going to be having. They're definitely getting a lot smarter and more capable, especially with the multimodal aspect. Now, Sarah, what about you? What was a highlight moment that you really liked from Birdeye View?
I actually really enjoyed one of the keynotes that you had hosted, Justin. It was the live panel with SEO experts Ben Fisher, Steve Wiedemann, and Joy Hawkins. And there was a great moment from Ben Fisher there, who's one of only a handful of Google Business Profile Diamond product experts in the United States. And I think he was breaking down the relationship between AI-generated search results and their relationship to local business searches. And I think let's roll the clip for this one. It's really interesting.
Yeah, definitely. I think the AI search results is a big topic right now, especially for local search, or at least for search. And so he did have some really great points on the impact for the local side.
So SEO Clarity, Mark Traphagen, great friend, came up with this study, basically, or should I say SEO Clarity came up with this study. And the study really shows where we are as far as the state of AI in search. Number one, most important, I think, for any of us to hear is the fact that when it comes to AI searches, currently they're really not touching local. They tried to trigger for local, and it just doesn't happen. It's mainly on informational versus transactional queries. There are some where they show up in about, I think, 4% of cases, where basically it's informational and transactional at the same time. But, you take a look at just from even an organic standpoint, right now, the AI overviews are only showing up in 7.6% of global searches. And that's down from 17.4. That number right there, I think, points us in a direction to tell us that currently right now, it's not affecting us that much. And also, another one which is important, I think, to understand is how, of course, organic works with local search in the first place. And that is that the AI overviews, 99% of the AI overviews are being sourced from something which is linked in the first 10 organic search results. So that means that your organic investment is even much more important, at least today. We all know AI overviews is going to change, of course, but at least as far as today, it's pointing us in a pretty good direction that they're looking at the authority of all of that.
Yeah, I thought that was such a fun discussion to be a part of. Ben, Joy, and Steve are just incredible experts, and they offer some amazing insights. That discussion specifically was just jam-packed with some really great stuff. And it was interesting what he was saying about the local aspect and how right now the AI overviews aren't quite really, present in the local search. But as he was saying, he says this stuff will always change. And, and as these models get better and they get maybe more personalized, we could see some changes in the local aspect down the line. But for right now, it looks like so far these AI overviews aren't quite touching the local search side of things. So, and just in general, those guys just offered some incredible insights. It was a great session.
I want to say, speaking of insights, Birdeye made quite a few big announcements at View 2024, specifically, surrounding the launch of 2 new AI-powered capabilities, the Insights AI and Competitors AI product. I think let's roll the reel from, Rebecca Colville, the Vice President of Product Marketing, and Deepak Berry, the CMO of Birdeye, regarding the launch of Competitors AI.
Yeah, definitely. I love this one too.
But one thing that has also happened is AI has come up as a huge equalizer. And while this is a huge benefit for a lot of customers, in fact, some of our own customers, because of AI, are able to compete with much bigger brands because of the acceleration that it provides. what it has also spawned is this new set of competitors that nobody actually thought of. Like they just didn't imagine that company would compete against them. Are you also seeing in your conversations with customers, are they struggling with this?
Absolutely. There's been a whole rash of new competitors that have joined the market, and often the businesses don't even know who they are. So we built Competitors AI to help with that. So it will automatically identify all of the competitors in your local geography. And this ensures that nothing is off your radar. And it also eliminates all the tedious research that you would normally have to do. So for example, with SwiftCare, they really thought that their competitors were other urgent care clinics, like on-time urgent care.
Yeah.
But what they actually discovered is that Walmart and Walgreens also are spinning up these little mini urgent care clinics within their retail locations. And it's siphoning away things like COVID testing and little checkups. This was not on their radar before.
Lovely, lovely.
Wow, that is incredible. I love how, the focus of a lot of the launches that we just recently announced at Birdeye View, and this was just one piece of it. There's all kinds of new updates that we released. But what I love about this is that, the focus is on giving businesses these smart AI tools and insights to help them understand and how to really outperform their competition. It automates the process of identifying your competitors, comparing those key performance metrics, those numbers that are really important in understanding how you stack up against them. And it even creates a SWOT analysis, which I love. That's just classic marketing. And it offers really actionable recommendations on how you can improve and how you can, make yourself better when it comes to this stuff. And, this tool, it's cool because it just gives businesses that strategic edge that they really need to stay ahead in a competitive market. Regardless of what industry you're in, the online landscape is getting more competitive, especially with the introduction of AI. And what's really great is like this does allow you to kind of help level the playing field, especially against maybe some of those bigger players in the market. Well, it looks like we're nearing the time for today's episode of Birdeye Live. And so again, if you weren't able to catch any of the action from this year's Birdeye View event, don't sweat it, because you can catch all of the recordings on demand. Just head over to the link in the caption, or if you're on YouTube, it should be in the description, and you can access all the recordings there and dive into some of the really great insights. We have some amazing sessions like the keynotes that we just highlighted, but also some awesome breakout sessions. We had some industry specific breakout sessions for property management, the dental industry, and a few others. That was just some really cool stuff. So be sure to check that out. And if you're interested in learning more about the latest updates and the launches from Birdeye that we announced at Birdeye View, you can also head over to our website to get all of the details on that. We'll also, let's provide a link in the comments as well, directly to that, so you guys can check it out as well. And, Sirit, thank you so much for joining us today. You did an amazing job with Birdeye View. And thank you again. I really enjoyed today's episode.
Of course, Justin. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, X, or Twitter, so you can stay up to date on all the things AI, local search, and especially the latest updates from Birdeye. But that's all from us for now. And we'll see you on the next episode of Birdeye Live. Thanks, guys.
Welcome to Birdeye View 2024.
Launch of AI data scientists that unleash never seen before AI capabilities.
Birdeye Score is really exciting. This is a big announcement.
Discovery, search, and all of that will look very, very different. Partnering with companies like Birdeye is going to be the way for us to reach every single corner of the world.
I think online reviews are absolutely going to stay relevant.
AI is the single most profound technical advancement.
You need to be an AI first thinker.